Hi, my name is Angelique, and if you're watching this, I hope you understand the struggle or you could explain. I don't know, I just don't understand. I've been fighting for my Social Security disability since November 2017, and my onset date that is 11/27/17, and I got denied of the first round, like they say. And then I asked for reconsideration. They denied that. Then I asked for hearing, and it went to hearing. But then from there, I had a lawyer that time, but that lawyer didn't show up at the hearing, which confused me. And that hearing was denied again. I mean, it was a denied thing again. So I lost that hearing, and then the lawyer I had at that time withdrew himself because um, when he submitted a paper for the appeals council to review it, and they only put like a couple words in there saying it's more severe, which is confusing. But I mean, I wrote a whole paper with families' help to try to understand what's going on here. Um, this went there to the appeals council the first time, and they denied looking at it. So that means you have to go to federal. I went to federal, and I won. It it says there's nothing in there that says on condition of I won the case. It wasn't like a partial win or anything like that. They said that there was the wrong application of law, and it has to do with their step process. Um, and so I won that. Then it went back to um, then it went back to the appeals council, which I had to do uh, congressional inquiry to get somebody to answer what's next. And then they finally sent me a thing saying they were sending it to the area judge that did it, and they remanded it there. And I would be putting in new information, more medical records, all that stuff. So I did. I did exactly what they said, and still sitting here. Um, so that got denied too. That hearing for that's the second hearing, and it got denied again. Um, and that was after I won it in federal court too. So it's very confusing. You win in federal court, the full thing says the onset date, everything, but it's not a win. I mean, why even go? Why even have it as an option if they're not going to be able to do anything with it? You know what I mean? I mean, they're just going to give it back to the appeals council, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't think so." This is kind of crazy. So, anyways, it got back for another hearing, the second hearing, and it was denied. It was the same judge. So I wrote with Family's Help uh, request for review thingy and sent it to them. And they sent back um, they sent back that they are sending it for a it says here issue decision, okay, under 20 CFR 404.984, the appeals council assumes jurisdiction in this case and again remands the case to administrative judge, and it's supposed to go in detail about the 404 1520C and stuff. So they quoted their own little their law that says it and stuff, and it's again remands the thing, and then they it was sent to the wrong office, and then I had to find out where it was supposed to go, right? And so there's give further consideration about the combination of the medical findings and stuff, and so it got back for a third hearing, but with a different judge. That's good, right? It's what I would have thought would be good, but I'm looking. They denied me. Surprise! Surprise! I have a lot going on. My anxiety and my depression is like aggravated every time. And I'm not asking for something I'm not entitled to. I'm entitled to these benefits. I just shouldn't have to work so hard to get. My family I'm a burden on them. I know I am. They say I'm not, but I am. Sorry. So to go forward, I put in another thing with Family's Help, another paper requesting review of one of their step processes and all kinds of other things that I did not agree with, that was in or that was contradicting and I didn't understand. So I sent that in to the appellate's operating. Well, they looked at it, and this guy says they consider the reasons you disagree, the decision, and all the issues in the case, and they found no reason under their rules to assume jurisdiction. But they did over here. I mean, why would they do that? I don't even think they read it. I'm serious. They have a court number or a social security number on this paper that describes this, and I wrote it. I just read it to you a minute ago. 20 CFR 404.984. The Appeals Council assumes jurisdiction of this case, and again remands the case to the administrative law for resolution of the following issues. That's detail. That's the thing saying, yes, we take it. But then this guy here, he says, no. Nope. Now he just said they do not, for no reason. They have no reason. We found no reason under our rules to assume jurisdiction. He read it. I just think he saw it come up, and seeing that I've been fighting for so long, and that it came out of federal court as a granted thing, and it's like Social Security saying you can't tell us what to do, and federal court's like, hey, you really messed this up. Can you redo this part? So I was granted in full, but nothing happened that way at all. So this guy goes in here and says we found no reason to the rules, but he comes back and he says something about the denial and your FEV values are above and CAT scans, but he didn't tell what FEV, because there's a lot of them, and which CAT scan. because I have to have that every done all the time, several times, sometimes twice a year. But he like pulled that out and was like, "Yep, there you go. Nope, you're good. We're not doing nothing. Deal with it. Take us back to civil court." Basically, that's what it says. Yeah. You don't like, if you disagree, now this is the thing. If you disagree with the administrative law decision, the court order that sent this case back to the commissioner ended in the court's review of the earlier decision. So, if you want a federal district court review, the commissioner's final decision after remand by the court, you must file a new civil action. And if you do not ask for a court review, the commissioner's decision will be final decision that can be changed only under special rules, but doesn't tell you what special rules, okay? So I've got a special rule for them that I just want somebody to read this and tell me why I am not getting my benefits. It's in its own paper. Okay, so this last denial. Okay, so first of all, you go, there's 5 steps, right? And their thing says if we find an impairment severe in combination and significantly limits individuals' performance to do abilities, work, activities, it says when if the medical evidence here. All right, so basically they check to see if I had enough of my credits. So yes, I have. And then they check to see if I was in any type of gainful activity, substantial gainful funds or whatever, which I'm not. I mean, I try to sell my crafts, and when I can, I tutor, but I can't tutor a lot because I get confused and it's too many too fast. I can't do it for a long period of time. I can't do it for more than a few minutes. Okay. I had one thing done and I was tutoring it and it was the wrong thing. And I had 8 questions on that same thing and I told them all the wrong thing and didn't realize it until I was done for the day. That's not good. Okay. It says here that okay. It says at step 3, and this is the one I got the question on. Step 3, the undersigned must determine, and this is what he's supposed to do. This is applicable law. This is how he's supposed to do it, they said. Okay, so step 3, whether the claimant's impairments or combination of impairments is severity to meet medically equal the criteria of an impairment listed in 404 Part P. And then it has that great thing in there, 404.1520. And it has one for 1525 and 1526. If the claimant's impairment or combination of impairments is of severity to meet or medically equal the criteria of a listing and meets the duration requirement, the claimant is disabled. Ta-da! So the bottom of that page starts without findings of facts and conclusions. I got enough credits to do the disability. number one. And number two, I didn't have any substantial gainful employment or any of that. Um, so, and it's said in here that. But number three, and I called several offices. I even called my local office in League City, and they said they can't answer that question. It's a hearing office question. Well, I called the hearing office, and they're supposed to be calling me back, and I don't know if they're ever going to call me back. Love you. So basically, number three says the claimant has the following severe, and then there's a number one hiding up at the top of the E. So it's like a footnote, I guess. Impairments, severe impairments. And the one is down here. It says, in order to be found severe, an impairment or combination of impairments must significantly limit an individual's physical or mental ability to do basic work activities. All right, so, and again, it says that in the nice code 1520. That's the 404.1520. Okay, so that's the footnote. So he's able to use the word severe there because that's what he said. It says the claimant has the following severe impairments: chronic persistent asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, liver cirrhosis with portal hypertension, disorders of the thoracic spine, hypertension, heart disease, hypertension without heart failure, reversible ischemic heart disease with arrhythmia issues. So that right there, the reversible, in my paperwork, it says partly reversible, but okay, just I'm going to keep going, Um, so with the arrhythmia and obesity, obstructive sleep apnea, major depressive disorder, mixed anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. And again, it goes 20 CFR 404.1520, and it's got a C in things, right? And that's a lot, right? That's a lot for one person to go through, right? So the next paragraph is not bolded. It says the above impairments are severe. Since the objective medical evidence in this case demonstrates that they significantly limit the claimant's ability to do basic work activities. That's where they're supposed to stop and improve. It said it right here, combination of impairments, if is it medically there and severe enough, then yeah, it's there. It says the claimant is disabled. Meets the duration requirement, yeah, that's all there. But it says the claimant is disabled. That's under their applicable law. But they denied me. So the next thing below it is like a bolded non-severe impairments, and then it's got some stuff that I've got going on with GERD, degenerate disc disease in my back, and goes on to say about my clogged arteries, my COVID that I've had, and curvature spine, which they're just starting to find that stuff out. But the record's not a lot there. So he said that these fail to meet the requirement to be found severe. But this is the problem. It's right here on number 3, and you're supposed to stop. They're supposed to stop. Why didn't they stop? I don't get it. So I've been just trying to get anybody to read number 3 in the Social Security area. And the appeals council was like, nope, sorry. They decided they had no jurisdiction over it. So they won't even discuss anything. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, can you just read it and explain to me, please? Somebody explain. I have a hard time understanding things, and I know it's part of my stuff that I've got going on. And I see decline, but I need somebody to explain why the first 2 paragraphs are contradicting the decision when it's their own rules. It's all about their rules, their own rules. You know. So if if I bring it to a point to where I try to see here. I got another congressional inquiry started. Hopefully, they can verify that I sent this stuff in and they got it. But it goes in detail on their own website page and stuff that this 5-step evaluation process is a special series of steps that we follow in a set order of this section. It's paragraph H of this section for an exception to this rule. There's an exception to that rule. If we find that you are disabled or not disabled at a step, we make our determination of decision, and we do not go on to the next step. If we find that you are disabled or not disabled at a step, then if we cannot find that you are, see, and that's this wording is crazy. Okay, so if we cannot find that you are disabled or not disabled at a step, we go to the next step. Okay, so before we go to from step 3 to step 4, they got to do the functional capacity report thingy, right? But if you let me say this one more time, because that way you understand what I'm saying, because it's kind of crazy. It says, if we find that you are disabled or not disabled at a step, we make our determination or decision, and we do not go on to the next step. So that small little sentence is what's supposed to stop it and be approved. So I just don't understand why they got to make everything so complicated. It's just it's kind of awkward to figure that out. It's their own rules. So the above impairments are severe, since the objective medical evidence in this case demonstrates that they significantly limit the claimant's ability to do basic work activities. That's the definition of disabled, right? I mean, this just kept going on, and it went to number 4. And this is where it says claimant does not have impairment or combination of impairments that meet the same code here that has it here. Yeah, so they're contradicting themselves. Okay. And then let me get to the page. You're gonna really like my function capacity paper part. It's pretty detailed. Let me get to that page. And I'm sharing this because I don't understand how this could go as far as it is. You know what I mean? It's really, I think it's gone too far to continuously have to be argued. Um, it's 404 dot I can't find it. It's here. Because they put it together. I'll get it. I know you're probably like, why is she still on? Why didn't she just pause it? Because I think I can find it right away, and I know I'm somehow. Oh, here it is. All right, so this is the residual functional capacity assessment. Reflects the degree of limitations under signed has found. And it says the claimant has residual functional capacity to perform a reduced range of light work, specifically due to claimant's physical impairments, that is asthma, COPD, liver disease, disorder of the thoracic spine, heart disease, hypertension, obesity, and obstruct sleep apnea, limited to the following. The claimant cannot lift or carry 20 pounds occasionally, and 10 pounds frequently, and sit for 6 in an 8-hour day, and or walking combined in an 8-hour day. Pushing and pulling is limited to no stairs, ramps, more than occasional. There we go. The claimant can only occasionally stoop, crouch, and negotiate stairs and ramps. It says, in addition, she should never be required to climb ropes, ladders, and scaffolds, or work in the proximity of hazards. Further, she should never be required to work in environments with concentrated exposure to pulmonary irritants or in extreme temperatures. Due to her mental impairments, the claimant is limited to understanding, remembering, and carrying out detailed and simple, repetitive but not complex tasks. Due to the claimant's adaptional limitation, that have resulted from her mental impairments. And she should never be subject to more than occasional changes in the work setting. Further, due to claimant's social limitations caused by her mental illness impairments, she should be limited to no more than occasional interaction with the public and coworkers. And the claimant should never be required to work in the proximity to crowds. So, yeah, should have stopped at number 3. Thanks for listening. You can set some comments. You can do anything you want. I just, I just, I had to get it out there. I mean, I probably am going to lose my mind before they finally decide to pay my back pay, and that's people say, oh, that's the reason, or people say that's not the reason. It's a different reason. It's because your age. It's because of this. I don't care how old you are. If you have these things wrong with you, that's severe. Okay. I mean, and they affect severely, significantly, affect you daily. I don't get it. Somebody help me understand. The mere fact somebody's going to say, oh, well, you can do a video. That's because I'm talking to a little light. And I'm expressing my frustration and anger. Thank you for watching.